Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho.
When you're down here with me, you float down!
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? What up, film fans? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to a new edition of Friday the 14th podcast. I'm one of the crew members, Juan, joined by one of the other crew members.
The 4K bad guy. At the 4K bad guy.
Oh, we're throwing tags now. That's a nice introduction. I like that. At the man, what a week, man! It's been a long week. What about you? Has it been long, tiring? It's been hot here. So.
Girthy, hot, sweaty. But Lacers don't skeeters.
That's why I got the red cup here.
Got the red solo cup. I have a cup near me, but I don't have it filled. Little SpongeBob.
Interesting. Today, you got to whip out the DP. Today we are having a conversation on The Night Eats the World. So we'll dig into this movie a little bit later on. If you guys want to talk, or everybody's always welcome to talk to us. But if you guys want to listen or watch last week's episode, last week we talked about Knock at the Cabin. Me and Nick had a fantastic conversation. I thought we got really deep into the story and the topic of what ifs in that movie. I had a hell of a time talking about it. So if you guys want to go back and listen to it, all of the links are on the social media pages. The Instagram is at Friday the 14th podcast. The social media, just search Friday the 14th podcast, or Imasawa Productions on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, which is where you guys are watching this here live on Facebook and Imasawa Productions YouTube channel. So go back last week, catch up. Me and Nick, like I said, had a fun conversation. Been kind of a slow week though, but Nick, what about you, man? Did you have a good weekend and recent watches? Did you go to the movies? Did you check out some wrestling, or you have anything you want to recommend to us?
It was a pretty good weekend. And Frank was usually here to help me out with the wrestling events. I believe it was Saturday that we went to go see a show out in San Antonio. I believe it was Hybrid's 5-year anniversary show. Pretty good show. I didn't get to go to the movies this time around. But I did watch some stuff on Netflix. What was it? It was like a Spanish film, but of course I watched it in English dub. Killer Book Club, I think it was called.
Killer Book Club.
It's essentially a Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer ripoff. I'm pretty sure Franco would have loved this one. Maybe not.
Was it old?
No, it's like a fairly new movie. It may have been like last year or even this year. Just a little bit of wrestling highlights here and there. The movie we're reviewing today.
Did you watch any highlights from Raw?
I'm biased on who I want to see, so I just pick I'll mainly watch all of CM Punk stuff.
So since you said that, I'm pretty sure you're caught up on the Uncle Howdy situation, right?
Unfortunately, no.
No?
Well, I every once in a while I'll click on it, but I noticed a lot of the videos it's usually just them and Gable.
So do you want me to? You want to talk about what he's entered in the Intercontinental Championship tournament, and believe he just got done beating Chad Gable. Do you think they booked themselves into like a corner? How do you is Uncle Howdy already gonna lose, or is Braun Breaker already gonna lose? Or I'm kind of like, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah, it's like another Fiend situation where you want to build this character really strong, and then you try to throw him into a title picture, but usually those guys don't really need like titles on them. I
Yeah,
mean, for example, Undertaker. It's
yeah,
great.
they don't need it. So I don't know why he's entered, and they've built him up to be this big undefeated badass. So I don't know. Kind of interested to see how that turns out. Um, yeah, my week was kind of short and sweet. I did go to the theater. I checked out The Crow. Um,
Man,
two
a lot of
thumbs
terrible things.
two thumbs down, man. Really, really bad. Um, I checked out The Greatest Showman. Love Lies Bleeding. I finished up my Mad Max saga. I have Furiosa coming up next, so I'm kind of excited about watching that.
So I'm just
15th
kind
and
of sorry to cut you off.
go no no
I
no
was
no
gonna say,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, just out of curiosity, did you check out The Greatest Showman because Hugh Jackman and your
You
recent Deadpool Wolverine?
not only that, but for some reason I listened to a bunch of music soundtracks, like movie music from movies, and the Greatest Showman song came on. I'm like, man, that's a really good song. And I kept listening to it. I'm like, that's a really, really good song. So
It's a great
I've only,
song. They used it for the greatest match of all time. What was that? Randy Orton
yeah,
Edge.
yeah. So like it made me just want to rewatch the movie. I've only seen it once or twice, so I rewatched it, and yeah, I thought it was a very good watch. So I'm a huge musical guy too. So I like me some musicals. Um, 15th anniversary of Coraline was a fun rewatch. Interesting fact: the anniversary of Coraline made more money than the new Crow this weekend. Interesting fact. So, and then I checked out today's episode. The Night Eats the World. So, if I could
Jimmy Eats
recommend
World.
Jimmy Eats World, if I could recommend anything, Love Lies Bleeding is on Max. The movie we're talking about today, if you want to check it out, is on the Peacock. And I'm gonna throw some more flowers at Knock at the Cabin. Peacock.
Cock. You're just doing
Yeah.
it again.
So, but yeah, man, let's kind of dig into today's episode. We can hurry up and get into the meat and potatoes of Friday the 14th. Um, Today we are talking The Night Eats the World. The morning after a party, a young man wakes up to find Paris invaded by zombies. Um, IMDb currently has this at a 6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is 85%. The Metascore is 50, and the Letterbox is 3.2. With a $2 million budget, this movie grossed a little over $95,000 at the box office with a March 7th, 2018 release date. I believe those are all France numbers too. Um, this is a French movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my best at the cast, um, starring Anders Lie, Gold Chef Ferrari, I think, and I'm done. I'm not gonna butcher any more names. Um, so
Zombie
yeah,
1, Zombie 2.
zombie. Yeah. If you guys want to, sign up for like a Patreon or something, I'll butcher those names on another on another streaming service. But
Patreon.
yeah,
OnlyFans.
yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
Speaking of this cast and the movie, man, this is your pick. Um, what did you think when it was over? And have you seen it just more than just once? Was this the only time you've seen it?
This was my first time seeing it, and a little earlier today, I got a little tiny rewatch. I was like maybe half of the movie.
Uh, Same, man. This was my first time watching it today. I wasn't expecting a zombie movie. Last week you asked me what kind of movie do I think it is, and I thought it was a vampire movie. Um, when it was over, my first initial thoughts was, what the fuck? WTF. Um, but we can talk about it a little bit if you want. We can get into it. Uh, I had, and I'll let you if you feel like you want to pitch in. I had a hard time with this movie. Um, very very hard time. It's a really slow burn of a zombie movie. It made me think of The Day, or no, The Dead. A movie that came out a while ago back. It felt like one long episode of Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Yeah, it gives
Yeah,
off that vibes, or 28 Days Later, the beginning of the.
yeah. 28 Days Later. We reviewed that last year, and it was super, super hard to just kind of get into because it was really, really slow. Did you have issues with like how slow it was, or what did you think about it initially?
Well, I thought it was kind of slow, but I feel like I expected it to be kind of that way. Especially if you're following around one character. It's almost like Castaway. At, at times, I do like watching films like that. It almost feels like you're in that world.
Yeah, it was a one almost a 1 2 person cast with a bunch of extras of zombies. Um, Even though the movie wasn't up to my like in pacing, I did like the concept of him being trapped up in the apartment for most of the movie, and then he comes across different, I guess, characters or people that he wasn't expecting to come across. Um, and for this to be like kind of like a horror slash zombie movie, there wasn't really that many like pop out scenes. Like you kind of saw them coming, I guess. Um, Especially with that first like oh heck moment when the people are running to the car in the first in the at the beginning of the movie, and the zombies just like make their way into the car. They couldn't get the door closed good enough. Like there, those scenes were very far and few between. So when I say I have a little issues with the pacing, that's what I'm meaning. Most zombie movies are like, especially when the zombies run, they're like it's like a really fast action paced kind of movie. This one was real slow and like methodical. Did you like that?
That's a very interesting question to ask. Because zombies, they can go either way. You can get slow zombies, or you can super fast. Um, I think a lot of the, I don't know. Trying to think of recent projects that came out with zombie movies. Um, I think I kind of got tired of the the fast-paced zombies, honestly. So going back to like a slow, creepy walking, or not really that fast. Also, I mean, I don't know how to initially feel about the no noise coming from them, but I thought that was an interesting take on it.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up and talk to you about it. It was pretty interesting. Um, it was almost so interesting at sometimes it was like annoying, but not like in a bad way. Almost like it made me have more hatred toward the zombies. Cause I almost kind of felt like the main character, cause he also like screamed back at him. You know what I mean? Like when he was getting super close to getting attacked, he would fall back, and there's a scene where he shot one of them and he fell back and like yelled at him, and they looked like they want to yell, but no noise was coming out. Um,
They forgot how to make noise.
yeah,
No,
they weren't screamers.
they weren't screamers, unfortunately.
So like this also didn't really, not unless I missed it, but this also didn't have any explanation, right? Other than him talking to like that so-called doctor, right?
Doctor, like,
He was talking to that guy that was like behind bars.
Gotta be on. Oh, you mean the zombie, Alfred?
Yeah, yeah. He kept like, but when I say talk, he was almost like I felt like he was talking to himself,
Someone
but
like kind of kept him as a pet. I mean, the best way to do a comparison or like reference would probably be like he was Wilson from Castaway.
yeah, that's super interesting if you look at it that way.
There was at one point where he, of course, he comes across a cat. I, well, I think he was very unsuccessful with that mission there. I would have loved to see him get the cat, so he actually has something to, yeah, I don't know, I guess be friends with, in a sense.
Yeah, that scene was interesting. He kept trying to call the cat to him, and the cat was just like not having it.
He's like, I don't want that shit you're trying to feed me. Because I want some better stuff.
Yeah. I did like, and I do want to praise the zombies because I thought they all looked fantastic. I, I don't the budget was $2 million, so to me like that's kind of a right around the perfect maybe budget for a zombie movie, and I don't know if it was like um we guess I don't always need an explanation for how zombie movies become zombies. If this movie it felt needed, yeah, I think we agree, right, Nick?
But
I kind of agree with our comment here. He says I don't always need an explanation for how zombies become zombies, but in this movie it felt needed. And I
part,
think, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say part two next year. No,
Is it really?
no,
Oh,
I think it was a one-off film.
I think it really feels needed because of maybe the way it ended, and then it also feels needed because there was just not a lot of like the pacing to me was just so off. Um, but like I was going with, I thought the zombies looked fantastic in a zombie movie. Probably 50, probably half the budget you want it to go to special effects and makeup, or it could be like The Walking Dead and the later half of the just be all CGI. But I thought
Go
this,
World War
I
Z.
yeah, I thought this movie looked great. I thought it sounded great. Um, I just it was just so slow for me, so slow.
I don't know if there was like much of a probably not need for I mean like, as far as explanation, I don't think they were trying to really aim for the traditional zombie route. I think they were trying to go more metaphorical
Yeah,
way of I don't know.
could you almost this could almost be like a uh what would you call it? Almost like it's trying to be too smart for its own good when it should have just maybe just went straight into just being a regular zombie movie. And I know it's a French film, and you know some things are a little different, but I kind of it was a little tough. What about you? Like, I mean, even the cast, like the cast members were few and far between. Um, some of the scenes where he's just sitting there creating like things to do, or like gathering the cat, trying to lure the cat in. It's just I don't think it needed to be an hour and a half if that's all it was trying to play around with. And then it did kind of pick up a little bit where he met the girl. He met the girl and she was like almost dead anyway to begin with, who is Sarah, right? And he ends up and when I say he, we're talking about Sam, the main character. Um, but Sarah he finds hope in, and then just come to find out, man, she ends up dying. And she, what did you think of Sarah and the way he done away with her?
Considering there wasn't really a whole much involvement with Sarah.
Yeah, she was in just like two scenes. This was definitely a psychological aspect of a zombie movie. But I also felt like there was more edge on your seat moments with Devil when they were all trapped in the elevator.
the
Most of that movie's held in an elevator, and I'm like, jeez.
defense, or their Alfred's cage elevator. um, I think that was a cool spot there.
When she
Um,
died, or are we going back to Alfred?
uh, don't know what's like later on in the movie, but as far as Sarah, because you find out she's not even she wasn't even alive the whole time. You got her M Night twist out of nowhere. Um, trying to remember exactly how it plays out though. I mean, because when you're introduced to her, she's just shot at random. He doesn't know what the hell's behind that a door. I think there was like different scenes where he hears things, but they don't really necessarily show it,
I
and
got
it's not
I got
like it's in the same room.
I got big vibes of Swiss Army Man, where he's like trapped alone on that island, and everybody he's coming across, is he? Are they real? Are they not real? Are they dead? Are they not dead? I'm like, that's cool. I guess that's kind of thinking outside the box. Um, but again, I thought this was a zombie movie. If I wanted a
It's a character.
Yeah, if I wanted a psychological thriller about zombies or a disease, I'd watch Contagion or something. Um, yeah, little little rough, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can see definitely slow pacing. Like if, but you could take scenes out. I mean, I guess him drumming that'd be one of the scenes you can probably throw out, or
So what do you think the whole
him.
idea was behind that was? He's sitting there drumming away, and the zombies are almost building almost like a little tower to get to him. Like, is he just trying to piss them off? Was he trying to bring just the noise and for them to get in that way? I don't know. I think that's what his plan was, to get them all right there in front of him so he could go and try to escape the other way behind.
I don't know about escaping. I think like, he was just. I mean, I don't know the exact time period. I mean, it looked like he was kind of keeping track on the his windows. How many days passed, whatever. But it seemed like a good while. Just seeing even him like screaming and all that. That just him going losing his mind completely. I think if it goes back to the whole Sarah thing, him thinking she's alive throughout the whole time.
And it almost makes you wonder, like,
Because
did
I was gonna say, I think it was before that scene he tried to take his own life because of the whole scene within that cat. I think he got scratched by. I think that was what the wound was. It was a scratch. I think the period of time have I think flies by or whatever. It's all still alive.
yeah. And it kind of, and the way, I don't want to jump too much ahead, but for an hour and a half movie that kind of just, it would be different maybe if there's a big payoff at the end. But even the ending, you're kind of just left like, is that it? What's the point? Is there a point? did I not catch the metaphoric rise of this movie? Um, so even then, you're like, what's the payoff? What happens next? It kind of leaves you on like a cliffhanger.
I don't know. Maybe there's hope. Maybe I don't know. He left his comfort zone. I think his whole idea was just to wait it out there. Like that was his Winchester Shaun of the Dead reference.
Yeah, but I mean, even if there's a symbol of hope, when the camera pans off to the other tops of the apartment complexes, uh, like what would that hope be? Jumping from roof to roof?
He's a ninja.
I mean, is this the prequel to Assassin's Creed? I mean,
Could be. No.
this is how that's who he is. He turns into the assassin. That's how
Well, I
he
mean
gets
that
his.
that his grapple hook. That was a even though he knocked himself out, that was still an awesome scene to see play out.
Yeah. So this was your thought, your pick. I don't know how you fare on zombie movies. I know that you're a huge found footage horror fan and you love like, you know, the supernatural, but where are zombie movies for you in the horror genre? Is
We're
that
doing
genre?
a ranking tier list here, yeah. Genres.
Yeah, like where, because honestly we haven't really talked that many zombie movies if you sit back and kind of think about it.
Are you saying there's someone that was a host that strayed away from zombie movies?
No,
It's
no,
because
no,
it's their fault, honestly.
no, not at all. Because
Uh,
I I love zombie movies. I think it's cool. I think it's a mystery. The how, the why, what kind. Um, so I really dig zombie movies. But
I think we had
where
this conversation maybe around when we first started talking together. I can't remember what it was, like a UHD random episode maybe.
it might have been
And
it might have been our first conversation about live. Remember when we had just the Amos Wall live?
maybe, yeah, because I remember bringing up the topic or talking about Walking Dead or just Dawn of the Dead will probably want to be on my the Snyder cut.
Oh
Probably one
yeah,
of my
yeah.
favorite. But thinking back to our review history, I don't know. I don't think we really dived into it. Like, I guess that was kind of more of an excuse for me just can do a zombie movie.
Yeah. And I was super excited when I found out that this was kind of, you know, not kind of, it is a zombie movie. So I'm like, oh yeah, a little different genre, shaking it up. Um, but yeah, I was just, and who knows,
Uh,
it could have been just like a Wednesday for me, but the pacing just did not help any. So
how long did you say it was again?
an hour and a half, and to me it felt like a 2 hour movie.
I mean, some people say Thanksgiving felt like 3 hours.
Thanksgiving, never seen her.
Uh, but this Thanksgiving this year.
This Thanksgiving.
Mm, I was gonna go back and answer your question now about the ranking there,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
slashers is my, I guess I would say, number one.
Slasher number
Not that
one.
not that they're so greatly put together, but
They're
considering that's a
just,
genre that got me into this whole thing.
yeah,
Um,
they're just fun.
Supernatural will probably be like number two for me, considering I like a lot of the Japanese horror stuff, or I guess even in Conjuring.
Yeah.
Um,
Would you put stuff like Evil Dead in that zombie category or that supernatural? Because technically it's still a demon, right?
Demons, possession. I don't know. What is that zone category there? I'm trying to go through all the subgenres, but I think zombies would probably be somewhere within the third rank or four. Top 5, definitely.
Oh, somewhere in the top 5? Just messing with you. Joke, kidding.
I did not sign up for this.
Little, let's what do they call it in school? It's a pop quiz.
Pop Quiznos.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, that would be fun one week. We should rank our top 5 horror genres.
I already did it, man.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, to get someone else for this show.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about. Uh.
Warm Bodies. Not bad.
Hey, you know what? That's a pretty decent zombie movie. Who was hot in The Night Eats the World?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Warm Bodies. Nicholas Holt. That shit. I can't remember what his ex girlfriend looked like in the beginning. Way. I I assumed she was decent, or I mean, pretty good looking, but I can't remember. All I had to work was Sarah. All right, I'll throw you a curveball there, Juan. How about we see which version of the main character was hot? The clean shaved version or the more bearded version of him?
I'm gonna go clean shaven the entire time.
Entire time.
Yeah. Um, you know what? Just to throw you off though, I'll go Fanny. I'll go the ex girlfriend at the beginning of the movie.
I think that's what I just said.
Oh yeah, you did.
But I couldn't remember the distinct features of this person. I just was she like brunette or
She was blonde.
blonde? Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll get back before we talk about a favorite scene. Man, what do you think you would have to say? What does the ending mean?
The ending means
He got out of the apartment. He almost killed himself. Just death swinging into the building. I thought he was gonna knock himself out and he was gonna die. I thought that's how the movie was gonna end, but he doesn't. He gets on top of the apartment complex and looks at all the other tops of the roofs, and then the movie just ends.
visually seeing that's just creepy to me. I mean, all the buildings are all very similar in structure. So thinking about like all those other areas are actually probably filled with zombies as well. It's just like a probably never ending cycle of just jumping. I don't know. You can. It doesn't matter where he goes. There's always gonna be danger there or zombies. Might be coming across another girl or guy. I don't know. It's the it's gamble really.
Yeah, that's true. It is a gamble, but then you're like, man, so far everybody he's come across that he thinks he's talking to is like either dead or a zombie. So it goes back to that castaway conversation. But like you said, I get I get the ending now. You feel like there's hope. You see, what would have been a good ending is if he looks up and he sees somebody waving to him like this on another rooftop, and then it just ends.
And just like
Maybe,
that.
yeah,
Or we could have got another Dawn of the Dead, go to Island, and you get a bunch of other zombies running towards you.
yeah. So
I don't know. I feel like Sarah was, even though she was dead and had just the whole imagining in his head that she was alive, uh, those talking points that she was like talking to him, like she was convincing him to leave the area. So even just the part about jumping to the other building, it's very interesting that he took that into part there
yeah.
consideration.
Um. Your pick. You want to go first? You got a favorite scene from this movie?
Favorite scene. Hmm. I'll list a few off. Um, Even though it was a stupid idea to drum really loud and get all the zombies together, that was a cool shot of the zombies piling up. For a second there, you almost think that they're gonna fully tower over into the balcony area.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but they didn't get so close. This one would be more like a, I guess to me, it'd be like a beautiful moment. Just when he actually does think Sarah's alive and they're just kind of playing music together. And they're just like kind of humming. It was a nice little moment there. Um, I think I just like the whole sequence of because he I don't know for what reason he decides to burn mixtapes up there in the building, so everything is going. The alarm sets off. The zombies are all going up. Just that whole lead up and going right back to the hole that he came from. Um, all that smoke.
I I enjoyed the scene, like you said, where he's banging on the drums, and you feel like it's going to lead into something a little bit bigger. Um, I like the scene where he does keep having the conversations with Alfred. Um, I liked the beginning just because you don't know where it's leading to, and then he goes upstairs and falls asleep, and like hell, what a way to wake up.
And he was
Um,
like Danny McBride, and this is the end.
yeah. And then you know what? I'm gonna keep shedding some limelight on the way the zombies looked. Anytime you actually had the zombies on screen, whether they were walking or running, and then them just not screaming but opening their mouth like they're trying to, it was interesting. So, um, yeah, so it was still some pretty cool visual effects, pretty cool as prosthetics too. So, next pick. You want to go first?
Right, to 1 to 5. It's a full on five night. um,
How many Danny Trejos does this get?
Trejos.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a generous 3.5. Just
Okay.
because it's something different from the, I'm pretty sure you love the traditional style zombie movies, but I guess over time I did get a little burnt out with the films. I'm always excited to dive in, see what style they bring. This wasn't the American take on it. It was French.
And
Now,
that's true too. So
if I had to throw some dislikes, he kills the cat. That was a dislike. Something I wish they could have probably done. Maybe added at least two surviving characters, maybe. Of course, of him. So three in total. And then having one of them be taken out by a zombie.
so you want a little bit more death, and you didn't want the cat to die.
I don't want the cat to die. This guy, he was so salty about the whole situation. Like, you want to come to me, you want to be standing by the zombies. So he ends up shooting the cat. They don't directly show you, but it's implied because he had it aimed at the cat.
This was the prequel to Be My Cat.
Be my cat, yes. For Anne Hathaway. So,
um,
did you come around, give you the change of heart there?
that's funny. Like I said, I'm not gonna completely trash on this movie just because the pacing wasn't to my liking. I still like the way the zombies looked. Um, even though there wasn't a big payoff for me at the end, uh, I'm gonna give this movie a two. Two Trejos, two
Two
Machetes
Trejos.
out of five. I don't think it's a complete waste of time.
Mm.
Even though I don't think I would want to see it again. I'm not sure just because the pacing. Maybe on a full night's sleep, Um, if I wanted to give it some time, but right now I think I'm gonna sit at a solid 2. So
I mean, at least you watched it on the cock.
I did no
Hmm.
no previews or no
Oh,
ads.
Tubi, no ads. Yeah.
Did you had it with ads?
No, I watched it on cock.
You cut out there. I just heard. I didn't hear Peacock.
What?
So you cut out there.
I did.
Um,
Can I try it again?
yeah.
Yeah, I watched it on the cock.
Oh, okay.
No,
Um,
not getting no. Well, um,
what? If you guys want to check it out, shoot us some comments, man. Hit us up on the social media. Friday the 14th podcast, Emissawa Productions YouTube channel, or Instagram, Facebook, Emissawa Productions. Just message us. If you're listening to this audio version, you are listening to where you can listen to the Cinema Movie Podcast. Send us some emails. I'm going to have a girthy email bag on our 6th year anniversary show, live Tuesday, September 17th. So if you send us in some emails, I'll read emails on that show too. It doesn't matter what you want to send, I'll read it out. Email is cinemen921 at gmail.com. Cinnamon921 at gmail.com. Yeah, citizen, anything, recent watches, any recommendations, thoughts on some of the stuff we've been reviewing. Um, and next week, Nick, we are not reviewing anything next week. We will take next Wednesday off, Wednesday the 4th. The 4th will not be with us. No.
mm,
So next Wednesday, September the 4th, no episode. But the next time we join you will be Wednesday, September 11th. We're going to hang out and we're going to review From Dusk Till Dawn, September 11th, 8 p.m. on the next new episode of Friday the 14th podcast. George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino,
Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek, Danny Trejo,
Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek, Selma Hayek. Yes. So yeah, that should be a fun conversation, man. We'll jump from uh, zombies. I like that. We'll go from the apocalypse to zombies to vampires. So the movie's from 1996. If you guys have not seen it, go check it out. Let me see if it's streaming on anything. Nick, do you own From Dusk Till Dawn?
I'm glad you asked. I own it on a VHS.
Oh, nice, cool. It's free on Sling TV. So,
Sling
and then it looks like it's on Paramount Plus as well. Or if you're like me and Nick, we own some type of physical media of From Dusk Till Dawn. So that'll be the next episode 2 weeks from today, September 11th, on a Wednesday night.
September 11th, you say? That date sounds too familiar to me, honestly.
I thought
Um,
I think there was a birthday or something on September 11th.
okay. So you can make any predictions for who's the hottest?
From Dusk Till Dawn. You know what?
No spoilers.
You know, Juliette Lewis is also in the movie, even though they make her look like she's a 15-year-old. It's no secret on who the hottest is in this movie. You guys will just have to tune in 2 weeks from today for me to talk all about George Clooney and From Dusk Till Dawn on September 11th. So, Nick, man, is there anything else you want to kind of talk about before we get out of here? Any plans this weekend?
Any plans? There's it's a resin show this Saturday. As far as theater watches, I'm not too sure about that. Did you see the Terrifier 3 trailer?
I did. I also wanted to go see Channing Tatum and Blink twice, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that this weekend or next.
Shining Tate Young.
Even though that came out last week.
Nah.
Yeah. So
There's a movie I want to go see with Kyle Gallner. What's it called? Something Darling. forgot what it's called. It's like a thriller,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah. There's something else that comes out next week or the week after with James McVoy. See No Evil or Speak No Evil.
The prequel to See No Evil, Kane.
Yeah.
James McAvoy
I want to see that too.
reprises his role as Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah. I think that might be it, man. Smile 2
Yeah.
comes out in a few weeks. You know, if it's just me and you hanging out for the next few weeks, we might Smile 2 episode.
Smile 2.
Smile 2.
Smile 2.
Yeah. So that's my pick. 2 weeks from today, September 11th, from dusk till dawn. Nick, you'll have September 18th. I cannot wait for you to see what you pick. So until then, guys, if there's anything else, Nick, you want to add, I think that'll do it. Tuesday, you can catch me on an all-new episode of the Cinnamon Movie Podcast. The day after Labor Day, we are reviewing Clerks 2. So tuck your tail between your legs and come hang out and watch Clerks 2 with us the day after Labor Day. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. Everybody have a good, safe, happy Labor Day weekend. And Nick, I think that'll do it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do. Have a good week, guys. See you in 2 weeks, September 11th.
Thanks for